Okay, so when I came here, I had this very loose idea about doing something with real-time image manipulation and brainwaves. And this is a project that so the goal during my residency here is just kind of, it's very experimental. I didn't have like a, how can I say, like something specific that I wanted to achieve, or like a specific performance or a specific product. I just wanted to play with it and, you know, see possibilities of it. So I ordered some books about brainwaves and neurofeedback and crazy stuff that had brain-related subjects, just to check out what could be done. And this project is in collaboration with a friend of mine, Marlon, and he's been doing some real-time image manipulations and using as some kind of input, like some stream of numbers as input. So he had been playing with using sound from like a microphone in the environment, or light from a camera also in the environment. So the idea was, you know, in the digital world, numbers are just numbers. So instead of using numbers from a light source, use them from, let's say, brainwaves, right? So yeah, so this is, here in my little box is this is a very, very simple brainwave recorder. Really. So this is not like it's not a medical brainwave recorder. It's actually, I did some research to find out what kind of brainwave recorder I can buy. And there was this system that was made by this Japanese engineer that liked to work with artists. So I think actually some artists used the same system, Mariko Mori, Eduardo Kac, and others, whatever, some type of implementation of the system. And also it had like an open standard, it worked with MIDI. So you could, you know, create your own application instead of just using like a pre-packaged medical application to it, right? So yes, and it's wireless, that's nice. Also, you don't have to have the cables to your head. And this is one of the things that might change in the future, because I don't really like this headband that comes with it. So it has 3 electrodes here, which is very, very, very simple. Like if you want to do a medical EEG, they're going to put at least 19 electrodes on your head, even more, right? So 3 is just very much the minimum you need to get any kind of output from your brain. And also, well, it's the signal from the brain is very weak. Well, first because the whole electrical, you know, signals are weak current that we have in our body, but also because there's the whole skull and the insulation between the brain and the. Of course, if you really want to, you know, get into brain science, you need to open people's skulls, really, because then you have, you know, you can measure direct, you know, single neurons or things like that. And then you can do some very specific measurements of the what's going on. But this is quite nice. I have fun playing with it. Although I found out that I think my skull is very thick, because my brainwaves don't really come out much. So I really would enjoy if anybody could come here to lend their brainwaves. Anybody? Come on, don't be shy. It doesn't hurt much. No, I mean, it doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't really hurt. You just, I'll give you fresh electrodes. And you just glue this to your forehead. Okay, a brave person. Okay, sit there.
We have 2 of them, so we could play a duel.
Uh-huh.
Possible?
Yes.
We have 2 of these EEG. Or
2 of these ones?
No, right here?
Yeah.
I have one. You have another?
No.
Ah, okay. No, we can take turns.
The input of 2 brains.
Oh, 2 brains. Then you would need 2, yes.
Yeah, so this, did you ever try this?
Well, yeah, in the software that comes with it, you can have up to, I don't know how many channels, like a 4 or 5 or something. So yes, you could have more than one person, have a mind game or something like that. And my brain is against your or together with yours, right? Yeah.
I think it's hard to steer certain things with it.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna plug this.
So you say it's not dangerous?
No, it's not dangerous, don't worry. Nobody ever had any problems yet. Yeah, so you it's available. And okay, so sorry, I hope you don't mind. Sometimes I'm glad as a man because sometimes women say I have to clean your forehead because just a little tiny natural sweat or whatever, it's not good for the electrical contact. Okay, be fine. Yeah, normally, and also that I was reading on my books about EEG that here in the forehead is obviously the easiest because you don't have hair. So in the rest of the head, you need to put all this gunk so you know you can be more conductive. So yeah, so that's quite convenient that it uses. How does it feel? Fine? Yeah?
It's any pressure or something? Or is it fine?
Let's
Like,
see.
the contact is good, but I don't know.
Do you
Yeah,
feel
it's
it?
fine. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So okay. So now this is on. Yes.
I think.
Hmm?
Oh, this is by antenna.
Yes, it's
Oh.
wireless. That's cool, huh? I like that. Okay, so this is okay, so this is the software that comes with it. And I only have one channel, so I switch to one channel and I turn it on and we hope it works.
Electricity shocks or something.
No, you should be fine. Yes, it's working. How cool. So, okay, so this is just the how can I say, the bridge, you know, to get the waves. So here, there are different waves of seeing. So this here will be your raw wave. Just like if you go to, you know, the EEG exam, there will be lots of those squiggles showing your waves. But then there are the other types of display. So here then it will have like a bar showing, so on the right, the X is the frequency of different waves, and then on the Y is the amplitude, how strong the waves are. Okay, why are you getting a lot of waves? That's not from your brain.
Oh.
No, that's from your making faces like that.
Oh, it's just,
Yeah, this is noise because, like I said, you know, you pick up the signals from the brain through the skull, right? So you know, you have to amplify and everything. But the muscles, you know, on our face, they also send electrical signals. So those are a lot easier to get, right? So yeah, so if you're moving a lot, then and you're getting all this noise that's not from the brain. So actually also the waves on the left here are mostly noise, right? And then from here on, then they start getting signals. So yeah, like I said, I think yours call a little bit thick too, but don't mind. That some people have, wow, really. I'm not one of them. What can I say? I'm not one of them. So,
Should I do faces?
No, be quiet.
Think big. Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is the best display. So that's the 3D, right? And the interface is a bit ugly, I apologize, but I talked to the Japanese guy. So here, I don't know if you can see the types of waves. So here it says I. So I is kind of like eye movement. So this is just noise from movements from the eyes and the face. And then you have delta waves, which are the slowest, theta, which are a bit higher, alpha, beta. There are different types of beta and gamma. So those are the higher waves. So the slow waves are associated with dreaming, sleeping, just some kind of daydreaming state, being relaxed or being meditation type of state. And then being, thinking, concentrating, those would be the higher frequency waves.
I'm not thinking.
In general. No, but in average, the slow waves are, how can I say, stronger in any case. The normal graph is kind of like this, and maybe some peaks on some specific waves. If you would be sleeping, then all of this part of the graph, like all the right part, would be flat if you were sleeping or in a coma or something. So we know that you're not in a coma. And
here, I'm not thinking.
What?
I'm thinking.
No, you are
thinking. I was thinking.
Yeah. You're not thinking much right now. Well, all this, like I said, I did all this literature review and, to learn a little bit about what the brainwaves mean. And basically, they're not very precise, like I said. They're loosely associated with states of, consciousness or, just being. But they're not strict. If you have this amount of this wave, that means this. Or you're thinking about cheese. No, it's very flexible. I also did some readings about this because that was a kind of an interesting phenomenon, which is called a neurofeedback. So it works like this. If you look at your own waves, you can learn how to control them more. And that's a process. That's not like just this 15 minutes. You might not learn. If I say get this wave up, it will take you more time. But it can take you let's say 20 sessions of 30 minutes just trying to do that. And it's kind of like using a muscle of our body that we don't normally use, or are not used to what happens to it. Like if I could never see my hand, I would be moving it, but I wouldn't know what, if I'm moving this finger or the other, whatever. So when I can see, then it's, I'm moving it really high now, and now I'm moving it a little bit, my finger. So it's a stomach or something like that, something that you're not usually aware of. In a way, you become aware of this rhythm that is going on inside your brain, even if you cannot control it. But one possibility also is, that's what I had in mind when I, was thinking about the MindVJ, is to have a person to be trained as a performer of this system. So that person would have more control. But then, like I said, you will have, like learning an instrument or learning, you have to go through this process. And then it will be two different, I see this as two different possibilities that I plan to explore. For now, I've been exploring more like the random one, just because it's not developed enough to start training someone on it. And also decisions about what type of waves are better to train or not, things like that. Just have to make some tests. So during this time, one of the things that I did was record different people's brainwaves, just to have my own little kind of database to work with, how to adjust the parameters and things like that. And so some of the things that we did, let me close this, is here in the preferences, okay, you can send out the brain output as a MIDI information. So basically it breaks the 8 frequencies here in 8 channels and just sends the pitch, the numbers, the amplitude as the pitch. So let's hide this. I think I can close this. Okay. And okay, so this is very basic. Let me just open the most basic. Okay. So here then you receive the numbers. And you can hear it from the IBVA. So any software that can read the MIDI signal, you can use it receiving the brainwaves. So if you want, you can plug it directly to an instrument, for example, and it would play some sound. Maybe it won't be very nice to hear. It would sound like a bit like noise or something like that. But it's an interesting. And here, so some of the things that we started trying are these. So let me open them. Are we sending? Uh-oh. Let's hope it works. No, it's supposed to see something, but it's kind of not. It was working a little bit ago. Let's try again.
Even on the 2 loudspeakers in your.
What?
Even in the 2 loudspeakers.
No, it's not. It's not sound. It's just visual. So let's try again. Yeah. The other one was working fine. Yeah. So just this one was not receiving. Okay, haha, now it is. And here.
So the MIDIs are doing the visuals.
Just a sec. Okay, now it is. So let's see what's our video window.
Can I help? It's me. Okay,
So I'm trying to remember. Okay, so I think this one is just we just plugged it into a basic color feedback system, and depending on the two different waves, 2 different frequencies. Each one is controlling one thing. One is the zooming, and the other is the rotation of it. And I think if you move your eyes, it changed the preset, which is the kind of the colors, the whole thing of it. And like I said, when you just put it on and wear it, it's always I don't know, what do you... Some people really feel like they need to have lots of control on it. And that's also an interesting thing because in a way it's not something as easy as just moving like your
The
hand
eyes,
or-
the eyes is quite obvious here, but
Yeah, that's actually, how can I say, is the cheating part, right, in a way, because you're not getting it from the brain, you're getting it from
No.
just the muscles. But the brain is this thing that is kind of closed and hidden inside your skull, so it's not as easy to access as moving like a hand or a finger. Wow, now we got the deep black.
it's not working.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's just
Yeah, it was just...
the way to avoid the muscle
Just a
changes to just filter them, just to get the other filters, just the inside.
Well, the problem is that it just becomes an overpowering noise, so it can't really filter. It becomes like an overpowering noise. Like I said, the signal from the brain is very, very weak. So anything really strong that comes is gonna obliterate, and then you lose it totally. You can't, unless, like I said, you open your skull and put it inside. Then that's the best way to filter it. But I'm not doing that, don't worry. No, yeah, that's not my...
So how do you want to train someone to do it?
That's still part of like the how I'm gonna do it. I just didn't want to start with training anybody without having a better idea of what I want them to do. You know, like just train them to do something. I'm not sure that that's what I
I
want.
thought you training this MindVJ, this one person, this other partner we have.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trained to use this.
No, nobody is yet trained.
Okay. I
Yeah,
see.
I haven't trained anybody or nobody. Yeah. One of the ideas that we also started, this is one that was a little bit broken also when let me see if I can, if not I have like some videos that we recorded. Let's see if it's this one. So this one is, the idea is also to, instead of just abstract colors, to grab images from the internet, so you could be able to navigate them and either feed them into some kind of environment, or this one is just into the same kind of feedback system. And then the search, you can search them by color, or you can search them by some type of keywords. And then, depending on the statement, you can associate those keywords to some specific thing for a specific performance, for example, about a theme. And then you're going to get images from that specific keyword. And these images are from Google. So here in the bottom, you can see the original URL of the image. And I think this one is a bit broken because it is not cycling. Oh, this one. Yeah, it kind of it's getting stuck. I need to do some so the idea is to, we had like 3 basic colors, like red, green, and blue, and just use them as a keyword. But for example, one of the I think it's that. Let me see if that's the right address. Okay. So this one is an example of color selection. So these images are not from Google, they're from Flickr. So you can choose, for example, a specific shade, and it will fetch images with that specific shade. So that's also in a way of, at the same time that you can use the color, you can also use the keywords or the tags to look for a specific subject on the images. So this is kind of the next step that we're slowly working on it, to move from the Google images to the Flickr images. Basically because they are nicer. I don't know if you're familiar with this website Flickr. And it's a community of photographers and just people that are interested in photography, images. And it's also a very, very strong community. And that's an aspect that I like, to involve communities of artists and things like that. And they also organize themselves into groups. So this one that these images come from are called color fields. So they're pre-edited. So they are images that have like a predominant color. So if it has a predominant color, you submit it to the color fields group. So you can search only from specific groups, or you can search from specific artists, or you can just search by general keywords that people assign to their photos. And you can also assign, your friends can assign keywords to your pictures as well, not just you. So if you're lazy, you can have your friends, or if you misspell, like I think I posted one and I misspelled graffiti, and then someone added the correct spelling of the tag just below to make sure I will get hits for people looking for graffiti. But it's a quite interesting, and it has the community aspect of it, and it's just the images are nice. The overall quality of them are nice images to work with. So this is something that is slowly going, into work. Like both me and my friend that works with me, we're not, like I said, I'm not a programmer, so it's just like learning some different scripting languages to get this to work together. So that's going a little bit slow right now, but it's one of the goals of the project. And yeah, just kind of experimenting with what could be done and things like that. And we also been in touch with some other artists that are exploring this field of brain waves or related things for all kinds of different projects, since 3D or...
How will the final performative setup look like?
Yeah, I think the idea is kind of to have like a modular system. So I'm not thinking about a specific performance. Like I said, it could either be set up, for example, in this environment of an installation where people can wear themselves, the electrodes, or it could be set up as a performance where people would watch a VJ performing with the electrodes. Also, one thing that we did let's see if I have them here. This is from... One nice things that we tried is to send... let's see if we can get... I think this is just a low resolution screenshot. So this is when I was here and Marlon was back to New York. So we did some experiments of sending just the data, the brain data, to another person, another computer. So this was like his capture. And I guess they were looking at some projection that I had. And this on the top is kind of the output that was going on at the time. So that's also kind of, it could be a telematic setup with that. And one of the ideas also is to, like I said, get it into something else than the headband. I don't know, I just don't like it very much. I was thinking more about some goggles or something like that to look better. And let me see if okay. So here are also two movies that they're not live, it's just a playback. So this one is also like just just the same system of abstract images, but this was like a more active kind of setup that it was changing really fast. And then the zoom was not on, just the rotation. So it's not the scale that we had before is not.
This is not a live influence brainwave. This is not an.
It's not live. This is just recorded. Yeah, it's just a.
This is from a live session at all.
Yeah, this is from like a while ago.
But actually, the main aesthetics is also lays down in the algorithm of image manipulation, and not necessarily the brainwaves themselves.
Yes. The brain just provides like I said, the numbers, right? Like from 0 to 10 or something like that. Yeah, and this one was from images. But yes, well, the thing is, because it's not so finely controlled, like if you really had something, like a piano, for example, one key could, determine one thing or the other. But in this case, you really don't have that fine tuning to make, even if you associate, specific brain waves with things, it doesn't mean they will occur. Or even doesn't mean that even if I train someone for 50 sessions, they will be able to really use finally select. If you make such a fine selection, then it won't be.
In terms of aesthetics, do you think about the result, or do you have any thoughts about things we are seeing now? Are you have let's say, thinking about it or reflecting, resonating of these things, or you respect everything how it comes?
I think at this stage, I am more in an experimenting than really picking up a specific result. But yes, I see in the future a more careful kind of direction in the aesthetically part. But I don't know, I just kind of feel that I need to learn how to use the tool first to then make those choices.
I'm not judging.
Yeah, I know, no, I'm not taking it as a judgment either. Yeah. No, in a way, I think it's fine also. Like I said, in the CETO group, they are not concerned at all about, editing or curating or something like that.
One question is very crucial for me. Have you ever thought about, honestly, adding images and images to images to images and images to my life, to your life, to your eyes? To others. Adding images, constantly images, or I'm part of this image flow.
Right.
As I'm part of this architecture flow here,
Yeah, I think that there's two things, that the flow and there's also the whole question of like a rhythm of stimuli that we are exposed to, be them images or just other types of things, and that's something very, how can I say, actual. There's the whole the whole escalating of stimuli coming towards us. There's one thing to think about, and in a way I think our brains are being trained, just like just like I can train someone. Our brains are being trained to absorb more quantities of different stimuli at the same time. But I don't know, you think about what aspect specifically?
I think especially about something that I'm just asking you. Another question is, ever thought about a system of reference and referring constantly to?
You mean from one image, for example, referring to another, or?
A moment of transfer from one to another. So as long as I see these, it's let's say it's very interesting also. But what is the next, or another dimension of not having seen these images so far? Question of importance,
Mm-hmm.
of not importance.
Right. Yeah.
What am I doing with it?
I think there are two roles. Like, one is my role when I design the piece as an artist, that I'm going to assign some importance myself. But there's also the person that is going to perceive the importance, right? If I see, maybe it will be important to some people and not, or different types of importance to different people.
No, my question is,
What?
are you aware of transferring one system into another system
Mm-hmm.
when we just becoming aware of the moment of transfer here? That's what you're showing us.
You mean between the brain and the visual?
No,
Or?
yes, okay, but this special system, technical
Mm-hmm.
development of running recording into images,
Mhm,
option,
right.
And this in between. So this we're looking always to the same kind of reference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so far unseen, but it's the question to do things what I have never seen before, or to do things what I have never done before,
Mm-hmm.
or is there any aim as no aim? What is mucking around?
Yeah, well, in a way, I like to keep this, like I said, the experimental, whatever, playful. And maybe in the process of trying to figure out those things, like trying to get something out of it. After, regarding not only my process, but other people's process of, if you make something that is a little bit interactive, or other people can, use it differently, then it's also a good way of learning from other people's points of view, or just results, or I don't know, or accidents, or something like that.
So actually, maybe I can think of this tool which you try to develop in a similar way, like you develop the engine of the database of this grid cousin.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, like there's a tool where other people can contribute aesthetic decisions maybe to it. And then you just have a transformation tool, like the permanent zoom out of aesthetical
Mm-hmm.
results of people's ideas in a way. But actually, I have the similar question also referring to aesthetics, where also I'm interested in where's the decision, also the reference point where you make decisions about aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
qualities. So if you just have everything possible and anything goes, and you can't even control your brainwaves in that way, so it raises up certain aesthetic questions
Right.
of, okay, why using this tool in reference to a software tool which just basically can work with random numbers, and
Yeah.
then you have some aesthetic results. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe like an ongoing interface of a continuation of a performance, or maybe like
Right.
VJ session where other people can find a tool to communicate in a way, like maybe two people together.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
something-
that's an idea that is nice to have two people together. And also, this is also something that I'm trying to gather. Like, for example, this, when I hook up people, do they feel that they are? Do they feel that they have an active role or not? Do they feel that their brains are controlling the image, or they just feel that it's random? Or if I just put the random, would they have still just that if I tell them, look, this is live and your brain is controlling, but it's not, I'm playing back. Will that, like a placebo, whatever, generate a feeling in them? So that's actually stuff that I want to find out. I mean, it's, when I started with the project, like, I had no idea exactly about, I didn't have like a hypothesis, like people will use this and this will happen or something like that. So that's something that actually I want to find out. And that, for me, that is also what will give me more of a direction of how to use this in an actual installation or performance. Because, I don't know, we're so used to going to interactive installations, and maybe there's something that you're supposed to do there, And I've seen people like, oh no, this is so bad, they're not interacting right. And when I'm like, come on, if you're leaving some space for the public, you know, you can't guide them, and then you just hire some robots, right? So this is beautiful in a way to have people subvert, you know, your piece, but also to make it more meaningful. You need to test it, you know, you need to see what kind of reactions comes to people. So what issues are important, this issue of controlling or not, the issue of what images are going, so this is something that people will tell me in a way, like, you know, the way that people start using, or what you can tell me about what just happened.
I'll just say that I just can't, as you said it, I don't know if that's the right word, but I think there was something in the 70s, 80s, like MindVJ, I don't know. A certain interface where you just have the reverse way, you just have an interface of lights flashing. People have to shut their eyes. There was some sort of also measuring of brain waves, if the frequency control can change the brain waves.
Yeah.
So maybe just the feedback to see the visuals and then change the brain waves again, like people would.
This is another thing. Let me see if I have it here. Okay, I think it's this one. So one thing that you can do, like about the flickering the lights, if you flicker, this is something also, it's called entrainment. So if you flicker lights or play sound in a certain frequency, your brain kind of tunes in a little bit to that. So you can, in a way, guide your brain. So this was a setup that kind of happened by accident. We put the projector with the face in front. So that's in a way of, because the feedback is very non-invasive. I don't know. You are choosing to alter or train your brain waves or not. It's not someone telling to you, okay, now your brain is going to have this because I'm shooting this at you. So this other way is different, you know. So you can actually push the brain a little bit. And that was actually quite nice. I really like that was me and with the monitor. And we didn't really program any specific frequencies. It was just a natural, you know, of that projector, and each one has like a different, like the monitors. So that's something that you can do, and also with the sound, to try to give a hand, you know, to this process. And also, that's also another choice. Like, will I be able to push like a button that says, I want this? Or I just enter the installation and this comes to me, and right? And also, you should think about whatever side effects. Like I was saying, that the neurofeedback can be used to treat epilepsy. So that was the time in Japan where they had like a flashing images in the cartoon show. And it was a frequency that had the opposite effect. It caused epileptic attacks on people. So also, you know, if you're not choosing, if someone is giving them to you, if it's going to have any harm to you, it's going to be bad. It's like an ethical question in a way. Yes. Yeah, I think this band, after a while, you become a little bit too tight. I think you still one electrode was still glued to you. So thank you so much for your guinea pig volunteering. Okay, so